Hi there, this is Michael, and we're going to draw a 3D cross. To start with, I'm going to use a tool, either a ruler or something like a paint stick or a piece of wood or a folded piece of paper to help me get the shape for the cross. So let's go ahead and use the piece of paper here, and I've just taken a regular sheet of paper and folded it over several times, and we'll use that as a guide to get the shape for our cross. And we'll go ahead and finish that off at the bottom there. And then we'll lay that right across here and figure out how far we want that to extend. Something like that. We can use this as a ruler. So even if you don't have a ruler, you can use a folded piece of paper, and that'll work just fine for drawing straight lines. There's something roughly like that. Not a perfect cross, but gives us the idea. So now, what do we do to make this 3D? Well, first we have to decide how we're looking at that. Are we down low to the ground here? Or are we up looking down at it? I'm going to presume that we are down low to the ground, and our point of view is going to establish what we call the horizon. And the horizon's different for you if you're laying down on the ground. So it's not the actual horizon of the earth. What it is, it's the horizon from your point of view. So let's make that the horizon line right there. And now we have to decide how we're looking at this. Are we looking at it from this direction? Are we looking at it from this direction? And is it turned or is it flat to us? And I'm going to presume that this is flat to us and that we are looking from over here towards this place right there. So that's where our eye is gazed, and this surface right here is pretty much flat to us. So with that being the point that we're looking, we're going to call that the vanishing point, and we're going to draw lines that go from our cross to that point. And we'll just pick up off the corners there, and we've got a corner here to pick up off of right there. So now we can come in using our straight edge, and we can, let me go ahead and come off of that corner right there too. Don't want to miss a corner. And we can come in and now fill in the parts of the cross that we will see from that point of view. And it's always going to be a little different. Say, for instance, we were looking from above. We'll do some things like that on another lesson. So there we go. That right there creates the 3D perspective for our cross. And I'm just cleaning up the corners here. Alright, now let's talk about light. So if we have the light coming in this way, then this side over here is going to be in some shadow. But these surfaces are going to pick up some light bouncing on them, whereas the ones underneath this crossbar, normally, if the sun's coming down, won't catch as much light bouncing up. So these are going to be your darkest areas, and these will be your medium, and we're just going to leave this surface white. So let's come in and just do a little shading under here. Like that. We'll shade this surface. And now we'll shade the sides, but we're not going to shade them as dark. Alright, something like that. Now let me do a little cleanup here with my kneaded eraser. This one's getting kind of dry and old. You can pick up that kneaded eraser at your art supply store or hobby store. We'll clean up these plan lines here. Do a little bit of erasing cleanup right there. And now let me come back in and refine this with some nice bold marks. Alright, I'm going to erase these lines right here that we used to set this up. And this one right here. And I've got something here that I want to get rid of right in there. So I'm going to shade that in again. And repair that line. Alright, not extremely refined. It's more of a sketch. But right there is one way to draw a 3D cross with a relatively low horizon. And go ahead and work out the shading. Let's finish the shading up on this side right here. If you want to, you can make this a little darker. And that'll be it for this lesson. Please stay tuned for more lessons and check out our channel. We'll have a lot of different 3D lessons coming out. And have fun drawing.